Before we turn on those Friday night lights, we have some unfinished business on the soccer field. The state soccer championship continuing tonight with the semifinal round. The unbeaten Davies Eagles looking to take the next step toward repeating as state champions with this second round contest against Bismarck Legacy. Davies getting started early with this pass from Patrick Lawrence in for Savi Jones. The sideways kick into the net. It's 2-0 Eagles after an early Lawrence goal. He has a pass and an assist in the first half already. Later in the half, ball is back to Lawrence, maneuvering his way around the left back near the goalpost, takes a shot on an incredibly tight angle, and the ball does go in. Davies nabs their third of the half, all with Lawrence's boots stamped on them. Final moments of the half now, ball played in for Rick Pang, and he takes his shot on target, blocked away with quick reflexes on the Bismarck Legacy back line. They keep another Davies goal off the board, at least for the time being. The Davies Eagles return to the state championship with their 3-1 win over the Sabres. This also marks their 35th consecutive game without a loss. The Eagles will now await Minot or West Fargo in tomorrow's championship game. Rivalry games and even a region championship highlight the Friday Night Live action tonight. Here in town, the Shanley Deacons host Fargo Davies in the Battle of 25th Street, while West Fargo and Cheyenne meet in their crosstown battle. Two of the top teams in Single A meet in Valley City. The Highliners hosting the defending state champion Jamestown Blue Jays. And Stacey, believe it or not, it's the final week of the regular season already for our 9-man teams in North Dakota. Mayport, CG, and Maple River meet for the region championship night at Jerome Berg Field on the lovely campus of Mayville State University.
I don't believe it.
I know, time flies when you're having fun. I think that's what we're doing.
Well,
we're having fun.
all right, thanks, Devin. Summer has our Friday night forecast for us. Summer.
Absolutely. Those games is going to be chilly. Don't forget the jacket. We're mostly in the 40s to low 50s. I call this a personal weather foul. Bring the jacket, the hand warmers. We're clear and we are cold, dipping into the 30s by the end of most of those games. Right now, some of us are somewhat comfortable in the 50s. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be another cold one in the 30s. However, most of us will be above freezing, so we've canceled that first alert weather day for your Saturday morning. Your full weekend forecast, increasing clouds for Saturday. Very seasonal as we warm up into the 60s. A couple of passing showers or even just some plain old sprinkles Sunday morning for some of our Minnesota counties, but another nice day. And it continues to be nice. 63 sunny Monday, windy and warm Tuesday. And then a stronger cold front moves through, diving us back into the 40s and 50s with potentially some scattered showers.
Just a roller coaster of emotions.
I know, right?
I don't know how to feel about it.
We'll see you at 10.